Now, more hot ash and rocks have rained down on the Caribbean island of St Vincent after a second volcanic eruption in less than a week. The explosion of La Soufrière is believed to be one of the largest in more than a century. Around 16,000 people have been forced to leave areas close by. But authorities say they're concerned about residents who've refused to move. Well, for more on this, we can speak now to Ralph Gonçalves, the Prime Minister of the islands of St Vincent and the Grenadines. He joins us now from the capital, Kingston. Thank you so much for joining us on the News Hour. Just give us a sense of what the situation is like in your country right now.
Well, the northern one-third of the island is quite desolate. Almost all the persons have left, though there are a few hardy souls who are trying to brave it out. We're trying to get them out one by one through the road system and the Coast Guard by the sea. We have 80-odd shelters in operation. We have a lot of people who have come out of the red zone and the orange zone into private homes. There have been good Samaritans who have come in and assisted. And that relief effort is going pretty okay, though we need a lot of support. We have a problem with water because naturally the ash creates problem for the water supply. We normally have an excellent water supply system. We are below 50% capacity at the moment. So we have problems both in the shelters and across the country with water. This morning, which incidentally is the 42nd anniversary of the eruption in 1979, it seems as though Lady La Soufrière decided that she was going to celebrate her birthday a little bit with a bang. Fortunately, it wasn't a bang as big as a couple of the earlier ones. The danger which we face when you don't have the spewing of the ash way up 20 kilometers in the sky, and the problem of the ash is well known, and you have reported excellently on that. I've seen your reports. But when the burst lacks the energy to go very far up into the atmosphere, it means that it collapses and comes down the sides of the crater on the hillsides and valleys as pyroclastic flows. And the pyroclastic flows go out into the sea up to 2-3 miles. And that can be very dangerous. If it meets any object, it will move it. Any animal, any human being, car, truck, houses, plants, animals. Fortunately, the areas where we have had the pyroclastic flows, those areas are not inhabited.
Okay.
So that we have been lucky in that regard. The general situation is real challenging, and the normal life doesn't exist. Though we are trying in the yellow zone and in the green zone to carry on. I'm at the office of the Prime Minister. I have some members of staff here with me because we have to get on doing the work. Essential services are working. Relief supplies are coming in. And we are coping. We are a resilient people, and we're trying to make the best of it.
I'm sure you are. Let me ask you about that, because that's alarming to hear, Prime Minister, that you have 50% capacity of water stocks left, which is quite alarming. You've issued an evacuation notice for the north of the country, but this eruption is, I mean, it's not over. This is something which is continuing. Are you worried that this red zone could expand further south and impact even more of the population? And how long do you anticipate this emergency situation to continue for?
There are possibilities that it could extend further south into certain of the orange areas, and in fact it has to some extent. We can't say with mathematical precision how long it's going to last. But this is a long haul. We're going to be in this condition for 4 months, perhaps, or more. But it's going to take much longer time to rehabilitate and to reconstruct. Agriculture in that part of the country has gone. Animal husbandry has gone. A lot of houses have been destroyed by the weight of the ash. The health implications of the ash we're still assessing. We have sent samples off for testing in relevant laboratories. And all this is taking place in the midst of a COVID pandemic. We have been controlling the COVID pandemic fairly well since last year. But in shelters, you know, when people are congested, it raises certain problems.
It must do. How are your health system? I mean, is it prepared for an event of this scale? You're talking about the pandemic colliding with a natural disaster. How robust is the health system to be able to prepare for the chaos that's been unleashed by this natural disaster?
Well, we have a pretty good public health system, and we have a sound primary health care system, and we have clinics and rural hospitals dotted across the whole country. And generally speaking, that we have spent a lot of resources and built those things, just like we have done with the National Emergency Management Organization. But it doesn't matter how you prepare for these things. The challenges do come, and then what happens? You focus on these public health concerns, and then other health issues get left behind. That's part of the challenge. We are working with our regional partners, the Caribbean Public Health Agency. But at the end of the day, those of us who are on the ground, we have to do the work. And our frontline workers are doing an exceptional job. Our people are working in unity. We are not a people of lamentations. We are very optimistic. And on this metaphoric, dangerous road to Jericho, we have a lot of good Samaritans, both internally and externally, who are coming to our assistance.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you can take comfort from that, at least, Prime Minister. And thank you very much indeed for joining us here on Al Jazeera.
And I want to say that we look at Al Jazeera here. We are very impressed with Al Jazeera generally, with your independence and the high quality of your work. And I want to thank you for bringing this story to the wider world. And I'm sure my friend the Emir in Qatar is watching it.
OK, that's very generous of you, sir. Thank you very much indeed. That's Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, Prime Minister of St Vincent and the Grenadines, joining us there live from the capital, Kingston. Thank you.